Hi, I'm CJ, and this is Mirage Garage. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing some of the parts that are on the Mirage currently and how the Mirage currently sits, and kind of go into detail about what I've done with it. And apparently I'm going to be showing my cats as well. This is kind of what's going on with the car right now. It's like I said, it's not turbo. It's currently sitting with the headers that I originally mentioned in the first video. Like I said, it does have a ported and polished head, ported intake manifold, and a bigger throttle body. That is a 1.6 liter 4G 18 crank pulley. So the 4G 18 we actually didn't get in the States, but I bought the crank pulley from Malaysia, and kind of a lot of the bottom end parts you're able to interchange. The timing mark's off on the crank pulley, but you're still able to use it on the 4G15. For those of you who don't know what the 4G15 is, it is the 1.5 liter that we get. So yes, Sportline strut bars that I'm not too fond of. It does have the D2 coilovers and adjustable camber plates. These are polyurethane motor mounts from Mad Poly in Australia. They're actually really nice. I have 3 of the 4 put in right now. I don't have the 4th one put in yet, just because I haven't really had too much time to work on stuff. But like I said, that's the RPW header from Australia. Car does have a Mishimoto half-core radiator, originally for a Civic. I had it modified because the lower intake outlet, or the lower outlet for the coolant, was on the wrong side, so I had to have it modified to put on the other side so they would fit in here good. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything that doesn't need to be in the engine bay has been taken out. There's a couple of things I need to tidy up on. The wiring harness is just kind of all over the place. You know, I know that I want to relocate the battery. I have had the turbo set up on here before, and there's still plenty of room. As you can tell, like, this is where the turbo setup usually sits, like in this whole area, obviously, where the header sits, but there's still a ton of room once the turbo setup's in there. Alright, so kind of just, I'll start the car up, kind of rev it up a little bit and whatnot, and let you see how the car runs. The only thing I have not done to the car that I personally didn't do was install the limited slip differential and the transmission. I know that's not one of the modifications I had mentioned, but it does have a limited slip differential from a Mirage Cyborg, which unfortunately we did not get in the States. So, but obviously that's a modification that you can't see. And when I do put the turbo setup back on, that will really help me in terms of traction and getting it around the road course or a track or whatever I'm planning on doing with it, because The car is not a drag car. It's not meant to be a drag car. I never intended it to be a drag car. I don't expect 400 or 500 horsepower out of this thing. Ideally, it would be nice to have around 300 at the crank. If I can get closer to 215, 220, I would be thrilled. 240, I would be just ecstatic. So, all right. So the wheels are Rotogrid V wheels. They're the 15x7 plus 20 offset, and I do have, like I said before, the Yokohama Advan AD08 tires, and they're really an awesome tire. It's been one of my favorite tires for a long time. I think there's quite a few better brands and whatnot. I just always wanted it. Like I said before, the car does have stripped interior. It just has been sitting like this for a while. There's nothing wrong with it. I stripped the interior originally to kind of gut it out and clean it up. Eventually I was going to get things repainted and redone, but I just haven't got around to a lot of things. They're the TCS Sportline rear strut bar. As you can tell, the adjustable coilovers back here. So the car does have the Corbeau seat, and it is a Corbeau bracket. So I mean, the actual seat sits pretty nice. It has an NRG steering wheel setup with the detachable short hub setup. The oil gauge I got from a member on the forum. It's an oil temperature gauge that I've never hooked up, but it is an OEM gauge. It looks really cool, so eventually that'll get done. The carbon fiber trunk is the Evo 456 carbon fiber trunk. I bought it from a member on the forums, the Mirage forums. The Mirage forum guys, they're actually really great guys. So I've been on there for a long time. The exhaust is a no-name exhaust. It's been on the car forever, with and without the turbo setup. There's just been modifications here and there. And under the car, we have the suspension setup. Right now, it's just running a no-name lower tie bar. The control arms were the original set of LLT control arms when the Mirage Forums guys got in on a group buy before they started making the ones that you see on eBay. So these were some of the first sets. So it was awesome having a set of the first one. Here are the Megan Racing camber and tow arms. As you can tell where we're at under the wheel here. But I do have the adjustable camber and tow arms, along with the D2 adjustable coilovers. I really like the setup. I just haven't had a chance to really dial it all in, but it's a pretty cool setup. You know, that's pretty much what parts are on the car. The current plans are to get the suspension dialed in here soon. I plan on doing an autocross day here when I get a chance, and basically we'll shake down the car and see what it can do. I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can, all motor, before I put the turbo setup back on. Like I said, the car's not too particularly fast, but it is really fun. I mean, it even on the suspension setup that it has right now, it still handles amazing. But it's just not dialed in like I'd like to have it. The camber's quite a bit off, so it's kind of hard to tell in some areas. I do like to run with negative camber in the rear. The car has slight negative camber in the front, but overall, I mean, the car cosmetically probably not the prettiest thing. I like it. I kind of always like the burgundy black and bronze combo, so that's what I've really aim to go with. But the car will eventually look a lot better. It's just it's my project. Like I said, it will never be a show car though. It's not my intention. It will never be a show car. It'll never be a drag car. So if anybody has any questions about what the car, how much horsepower do you think you should have, or don't you think you should have put an Evo motor? No, I don't think I should put an Evo motor. Well, don't you think you should use the 1.8 liter? No, I don't. Would it be smarter? Probably a lot smarter. However, that's not what I'm going for. So, like I said, it's kind of, this is my car. I created the channel to show what I'm doing to it, but I do want to kind of explain in detail why I'm doing it. So, but feel free to ask questions if anyone has any questions on reasons behind what I'm doing, or where to get certain parts and stuff that I may have an idea on. One of the things I'm actually planning eventually is to make the 1.5 liter a 1.6 liter. So I want to increase the displacement a little bit. That's going to be interesting. I know quite a few guys in other parts of the world, like Malaysia and whatnot, they've actually done that, and you're going to have to use a 4G18 crank in order to do so, and also 4G18 pistons. But that is something that I really do want to do eventually, and it will give it a little bit more torque, a little bit more power. So, and that's just a little bit less boost that I have to run to kind of get the power that I want. These engines are really stout. I mean, they are really stout. They can handle the Mirage on the old setup hit 18-pound boost spike, and I mean, if I wouldn't have got out of it, it really wouldn't care. Like it seriously, it was having no issues. It wasn't breaking up. It used to run 12 pounds consistently. It would outrun Honda Preludes, Celica GTSs and stuff, which granted, those are all motor cars with no turbo setup, but this is a single cam 1.5, where those are dual cam, VVTi, a lot more modern, better engines, more efficient engines, I should say. But the key to this car has always been the weight, and like I said, the fact that it weighs so little, and 2,000 pounds or less is a huge plus. Everything in terms of braking, handling, acceleration is a lot better when the car is more lightweight. So that's something I really like to focus on. Car being lightweight, easy to work on, reliable, and it's honestly cheap to maintain. I mean, it doesn't. If this motor blows, I go to the junkyard, pick another one up for a couple $100, slap it right in, and it'll handle 10 to 12 pounds of boost, no problem. So, but that's it for this video. And like I said, if there's any questions, just feel free to ask, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. So, this is Mirage Garage. Go.